I'm Michelle Ely from the Starlight Tribune, an Arrow TV show fan podcast, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other amazing geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 390 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. It's just palindrome day. Whatever way you do that date, it's always going to be February 2nd, 2020. This is the in-depth analysis you come to us for each week.
I like numbers. Numbers are fun.
Numbers are swell. Willie will be joining us here in a few. He was having issues with Skype, and we are already running about 15 minutes late. So once he gets that working, he'll jump on. But don't worry, until then, you've got myself, Chris Farrell, and one Anthony Bachman, returned from his off week.
I are here.
Are you awake? Because I'm not.
I'm somewhat awake.
Only a little bit.
I haven't finished a cup of coffee yet, but I'm working on it. I'm almost awake.
How far are you through your current cup of coffee, then, is the better question.
Like 3 sips. Like, it's very hot, and I need more coffee.
Oh, no. Only 3 sips.
Indeed. But I got a nice Tales of Mystery cup going on, and Dirk Manning would approve.
And as it was mentioned in the chat room by one Anthony Bachman, happy Superb Owl Day for those that are consuming.
Fuck those people. I will not say that. It's Super Bowl day.
It's Superb Owl because that makes me laugh. And that
Who cares?
is really... Oh, Willie, coming in, shots firing. Hurting my feelings. I mean, actually, I don't really care much about the games tonight because none of the teams I like are really in it, but I'll probably watch. And I'm really curious because supposedly I can stream it through the Fox app in 4K HDR. And I was like, okay, if I can watch football in HDR, I don't care about the 4K part as much as I do the 4K. Excuse me, I don't care about the 4K as much as I do the HDR part. That has me intrigued. So we'll see how long Fox can keep up a stream of 4K HDR to millions of people who will try and consume it tonight.
Hopefully it's not over 4 hours, because then they need to call a doctor.
It's Super Bowl night, so it'll be, I think...
Yeah. I think the pre-show started on Tuesday night.
Right.
It's always a long one.
That's got to be painful. Looks like we got to amputate.
Oh, it might be the case. So I actually asked one of my digital assistants what time the game started, because I was like, it's probably like, 7, 8 o'clock? She's like, 6:30 the game starts. I'm like, oh my God, and that game's going to be on till like midnight because there's going to be so many commercials. And it has been confirmed. There is a TV trailer spot for Winter Soldier and the Falcon. TV show.
Did they just start
Disney
shooting
Plus.
like 2 weeks ago or something like
They've
that?
been shooting for a little over a month, I think. So
okay.
They have enough they can put a TV spot together.
Plus,
Really?
let's be honest, if they knew that show was coming, they may have filmed some stuff during Endgame when they had the principal characters all there ready to go, knowing that that movie was going to lead into Cap and Falcon.
We've already seen set photos from Cap and from Falcon and Winter Soldier as well, including the new U.S. agent we saw photos of.
Oh, I did see a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked dumpy.
Yes.
But they only been shooting in a month. Like, this is gonna be all practical effects. There's gonna be no finished stuff coming up with this trailer.
Probably.
It's going to be a Super Bowl TV spot, so it's probably only 30 seconds long.
Oh, you go. I mean,
Because supposedly it's in the fourth quarter is when this one's slated for. So it's going to be near the end of things, and supposedly, if you believe the leak, 30 seconds long. So I'm just going to wait for it to come out on YouTube because I honestly don't care if I see it live or not. YouTube, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, shit. I just noticed there's someone in the chat room that might cut a bitch.
I saw that too.
The Adahay is here. Hell yeah.
One of the original hosts of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast joining us in the chat room today.
Ryan Reynolds did it right.
what?
I don't know what he means.
I can't read it. It's too small for me.
That's something that Willie hears every night.
Yeah, and I'm all right with it. I've already grown to accept it.
He's accepted
As long
his
as it gets the
limitations.
job done. As long as it gets the job done.
Exactly.
Well, before we get into the actual meat of the show, are you guys going to watch the game tonight? Do you guys care at all?
Oh, it is tonight. I keep forgetting. I don't know.
Yeah. Today's the Super Bowl. Yeah,
I've been invited to some things, but I mean,
So the real important thing is, if you're watching the show, what's your go-to snacks tonight? That's what I don't care as much about the game. I want to know your snacks. What's the snack plan here?
whatever's available.
Oh, come on. You're not going to go and get like wings or pizza or make like taquitos or something like that. Willie, what is your snack plan other than just scrounging off what's there? If you had to bring something, what would it be? You going to go to Cookout and get some barbecue?
Oh my God, that would be great. Well, I usually get the barbecue sandwich because, man, Cookout, you guys need to go to Cookout. Those milkshakes on point, man. Over 40 of them, man.
I was
and
sending
some seasonal ones.
I was sending someone there on Twitter. They were asking me about it. I said, talk to Willie. He'll tell you whether it's a smart move.
They're seasonal. Oh my God, they're watermelon during the summer. The watermelon milkshake. It brings me to the yard.
That sounds gross.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know it sounds gross.
Yeah,
but it's delicious.
Nice. No, I will be watching the game. I am interested in watching all the commercials today. I will be watching it live on TV, and I put a pot roast in last night that will be ready for 4:00 this afternoon to be pulled apart and put on nachos.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we got some shredded beef nachos with some bell peppers. Got some tomatoes I'm gonna dice up, and then shred some extra sharp cheddar Tillamook cheese. Hell yeah!
Extra sharp cheddar, or get like one of the Mexican blend ones. It's really good too. That would also.
Whoa, racist!
No. You can go to like. there's. Okay. Let me clarify because my intent is not to
gotta be
sound
Mexican.
racist. When you go and buy Kraft cheese or
Hispanic
Kroger cheese
cheese,
off the
please.
shelf, there is the Mexican blend cheese because it's a blend of different Mexican style cheeses.
It is true.
So
it is true.
Put that up your ass and smoke it.
Why would you shove cheese up your ass?
Because
I don't
you're
know
a
why
weird
you would
dude.
smoke
How
anything
are you smoking
in your
it
ass.
in your? No, don't boof cheese, everybody.
This is
no
for
one
you
needs
to figure
boof
out.
cheese.
Yeah, Willie, I just
You
instructed
you have to
do
boof it and smoke it and tell us how you did it. It's up to you to figure that part out, Willie.
Well, I guess I'm a scientist now.
Yep.
Willie the scientist.
No,
He's-
down.
He's gonna end up throwing his back out trying to boof
So
a block
what?
of cheese.
You're gonna be Will Nye the science guy now? Is that your new spinoff?
Oh no.
Will know the science pal.
Will
Pal.
Nye the science guy. That's what it's gonna be.
I was trying to rhyme Nell with like Nelson, but pal. There we go. Just gotta say it weirdly. Pill.
Would I just be Willie Nelson, the science person?
No, I mean I could still be Bill because William.
Or we could just call you Will. What do you want
That's
to go
fair.
by? Do you want to be Bill or do you want to be Will in this fake spinoff that we're gonna do? For
Do you want to know what I really want?
What do you really want? Tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
No.
There, I was done. That shit. No. What I really want is toss a coin to your Willie.
We did talk about last week. That's finally available on all streaming music services. So you could.
Oh yeah, it's there now.
So-
It's on my playlist. That other weird one was weird.
Yeah. So let's go back to Super Bowl food for a second here. My plan last year was pizza and wings. This year, I think it's gonna be buffalo
Nice.
chicken dip, pizza and wings. Because
Nice.
who doesn't like a little buffalo chicken dip? And let's be honest, you can dip that pizza in the buffalo chicken dip.
That's true.
Oh yeah, buddy.
That's what makes it worth eating the crust.
I just got to figure out where to get the pizza from this year. Last year, they did a bundle of wings and pizza for Manny Brothers, so I might do that again this year. I don't know though.
I'm guessing that's a local joint.
Well, I mean, you better-
It's a chain up in this area. Heart disease intensifies. The Adahay says.
Make
Look,
sure you order it 2 hours ahead of time.
calories don't count on Super Bowl Sunday. That's why I take That's why I take blood pressure medication for other things, so that I can be bad on Super Bowl Sunday. Because
I don't think that's how that works.
if I'm gonna go out,
Yes,
at least
that's
I'll
how
go
it
out
works.
eating well on game day.
Yeah, it's like the old Fluffy thing when he was very overweight, which he's cut back some, but like he used to talk about like people bringing him cakes at shows. Like some comedians, like people bring him books, like Greg Proops. Other people bring different stuff. Motherfuckers would bring full size chocolate cakes to Fluffy at shows because Gabriel Iglesias is a big ass guy and he likes cakes. And one of the times someone asked me about it, he's like, you're really big, you're really funny. You get those big funny guys tend to not live too long. Like they get really popular, they get really famous, and then they're dead. And he's like, I don't want to die, but at the same time, if I do die tomorrow morning and I could have had a cake tonight, I'm not gonna say no to the cake. Like, live your life, have some fun.
That one cake's not gonna be the final nail in the coffin.
So you're saying
No,
the one cake's not the Widowmaker?
I think it's the fact that he was having like 1 or 2 cakes a show.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Which adds up. Well,
Now,
I
are
think
these whole cakes or these little baby
no,
cakes?
these were
They were
like
whole
full
cakes.
size. They were like full size cakes that people were bringing him at shows. And so yeah, like he'd go to his the green room after a show and have like 1 or 2 full cakes. And I was like, well, I don't want to carry it back to the hotel, so I'll just sit here and eat this cake.
Look, I look at it this way. I've been pretty good lately. Everyone's allowed to have a cheat day from time to time. If The Rock can have those kind of cheat days, I can do something that's a baby version of The Rock's cheat days.
Yeah, no one can do the Rock's cheat days unless they do the Rock's
I
workout.
said baby version.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, we're going to a 0.5 percentile in this.
It's pretty small.
Don't ruin my Super Bowl Sunday plans of eating myself into a food coma.
Oh, no. Do that if you want. Just don't fucking bullshit me.
I'm not bullshitting you. Today's
Just call
a
it
cheat
what it
day.
is.
I
You're
can be
gorging,
back.
and that's all right.
It's
Hell, I
okay.
might gorge too, man.
Yep, it's the day for it. It's the day
You're
for it.
drowning that buffalo sauce, man.
That would be a terrible way to go because it would burn.
Mostly your eyes, but I mean,
And
you're not
your
going to live that long.
ears and your mouth as you were trying to breathe.
Well, I mean, just try to make it go faster by just like breathe in the hot
Just
sauce.
start drinking in the hot sauce. Maybe
Oh,
you can
God.
drink it all and survive.
Imagine the hot sauce just filling in your lungs.
There's a
Ooh.
worst case scenario the Adahay just put in the chat, which was it's basically a buffalo wing enema.
That doesn't sound like fun at
That
all.
doesn't sound like
Well,
fun.
You,
And
you
then also-
drown in your buffalo
you-
sauce. I'm just going to make a blanket out of my nachos and just live under them.
Ooh, nacho blanket.
Yeah, be nice and
Listen,
warm.
all right, I've already seen a prolapse anus. I don't have to think about this.
No,
please.
would you quit bringing that back?
Willie,
Nobody wants to
We
talk
told
about
you
that
to stop
ever.
looking at your butt in the mirror.
First of all, no one talking about having a buffalo dip enema here. So why are you getting on to me about this?
Because you doubled down.
And because that's not a visual thing that people will think of, and then use the P word.
Prolapse.
Ah!
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I said prolapse. You said prolapsed.
Never buy you a Coke.
Gross.
Then come,
Gross.
I will buy you a Coke next time I see you, Willie.
Today
How
is
about
not the
that?
day to talk about that.
I will buy you a Coke the next time.
You've only seen me once, and how long ago was that? About
I've
5
seen
years.
you multiple
Couple years
times
ago.
in that one adventure.
That's fair.
I drank beer and ate pizza with you in Chicago, Willie. It was good times.
Well, you were on the way other side of the table.
I was drinking.
It
a
must
lot
have
of-
also been a cheat day.
I wasn't being good then. Oh man, that was good shit. That was good pizza and that was good beer. Cody had
Alright.
the smart place to go to get pizza.
Yeah, I'll
Nice.
give you that. Yeah, Cody was genius on that.
I mean, he is a Chicago
Except
guy.
for the
He
wait
knows,
time.
he knows where to get pizza.
Yeah, I think we actually left from like waiting there to go to a bar quickly and then come back, and it was still like a what 2 hours. Although we had a lot of people,
We
so
had
I'm
a
not-
lot of people.
Yeah, we should have definitely pre-planned that.
Well, there was not a ton of pre-planning going on during that C2E2 trip.
Oh,
Once
no.
we got the panel knocked out, it was like, what are we gonna do now?
Oh my god, I was terrible on that panel.
Yeah. Well, it's recorded. It's up on the Gonna Geek feed. don't
Oh, I
remember what
know.
episode.
Listen how embarrassed I was. 'Cause I was dumb. I should have just spoke about what I knew, but I just deer in
Prolapse
headlights.
things.
Yeah. Yeah, I was sitting 2 inches higher.
Oh. You're awful. You're both awful.
You know, there's only one way to get past this, right? It's just
Yes.
hit
It
the damn
involved
button.
pressing
Play
the
it.
prolapse button.
Play the bump.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
Welcome everyone to the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have appeared here in the past week or so. We got some stuff for you. I don't know if we got a ton of stuff. We got some. Willie says we got none.
No, not we. The royal we.
So Willie, you didn't have news for us about something making fun of Microsoft, or why is Nintendo doing such and such, or let me tell you one of my conspiracy theories of what's going on in the gaming industry?
Or what did EA do wrong this week?
No, that's
Are you
the
making
Adahay's
fun of
bit.
me?
You can't take the Adahay's bit of what EA did wrong.
Oh, I mean, well, let's just go with it. Anthem.
I'm actually playing that right now. It's not terrible when it works.
Ah,
There you go.
key. There's keywordage there.
Oh, I know.
There-
it
there
never
is- there
fails. When you're doing a fortress run and you're near the end and it goes, oh, your connection's been lost. And you're like, oh, fuck, it has. Everything else in my house is still connected to the internet.
For how
Yep.
much I love and hate Dead by Daylight, it still at least works. The problem is, people need to come into it. That's what it is. We need more killers. That's the problem.
Yep.
I'm surprised I'm surprised Willie's not taking the story about Sony polling folks to see whether they want remote play for PS4 on the Nintendo Switch. You didn't see
Wait,
that one?
what?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that's news to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, I didn't have time enough to look at your news, see what that was, so I wasn't stepping on your toes. I think I know what you did, but I'm not sure. Is this all what you're doing? Are you making fun of me? Is that what's going on?
Speaking of which, I did some Dead by Daylight this weekend, and my killer matches, were like instant. Every time I played killer, it was instant. Like I instantly got a lobby. And then I did the survey. They did another huge survey monkey for when you log into Dead by Daylight that was like 52 questions long. And a couple of the pages of that involved people like gauging people's interest in crossplay and getting all the lobbies hopefully across Xbox and PS4 and possibly mobile, but hopefully not PC because that plays different.
So Willie, here's the story. I will read it and you can give your commentary. How about that in regards to possible remote play on the Switch and other consoles? Okay.
The Switch is the new Vita, apparently.
Evidently, you are our resident Sony/PS4 expert, so you might have.
Okay, thank you for not saying fanboy. Thank you for not saying fanboy.
That's why I said expert. So this article is from Polygon.com. It dropped on the 31st of January. PlayStation games could soon be playable on all kinds of different platforms if a recent survey is to be believed. This survey comes by way of a Reddit user who explains that they received the survey in an email from Sony. The survey itself was mostly focused on remote play feature. According to the Reddit post, the survey discussed remote play on a variety of different devices, including Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. It even asked about using remote play on non-gaming devices like Apple TV and Android TV. The poster also mentioned a section about using a generic handheld device. So, Willie, if they did it, it kind of falls in line with what you're seeing right now with Google's Stadia plans, which arguably are not great, but also what Microsoft's been looking at doing with Project X Cloud by putting that out as an Android app, as an Apple app eventually, making it remote play via the web browser. Do you believe that this is possible, or are they just getting information? Or in secondary, do you think they'll actually do it?
Well, definitely it's getting information. There's no doubt about that. But anything more? I mean, that'd be kind of cool, I guess, if they did it. But I mean, is it really up? I mean, they would have to talk with the other companies, wouldn't they? Like say, hey, let's do this.
Again, you would probably have to do something in regards to releasing an app. Now, that being said, you could release an app for Apple TV and Android TV probably relatively easily because those companies don't have much of a stake in saying, no, you can't do this. The way we've seen Microsoft react to things lately, I don't imagine they would say no. This is the Microsoft that's trying to embrace everything in the gaming community.
All right, yeah. You know what I see this as? I see this as the three bigs coming together and saying, fuck you, Google Stadia. You ain't doing shit, ain't you? We're going to do it better.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Sony's had their cloud play implementation for years. Microsoft,
yeah, what company did they buy?
It was Gaikai or something like that.
Gaikai, yeah, something like that.
Microsoft,
they bought that a while
you
back.
could argue being in beta right now is already better than what Google Stadia is. And they are kind of building a whole principle of being able to use your next Xboxes to do cloud streaming. So it's interesting. Do I think anything's going to come of it? Probably not. I think they're just trying to gauge interest. I guess, furthermore, in the survey, they started saying it discusses the idea of PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games joining the remote play lineup, which would be a unique play. It also asks if users like the idea of being able to adjust audio and video quality to help reduce lag and of reducing the size of the on-screen controller to give you more room to see the game. Currently, remote play can be done on Android, iOS, Mac, and Windows PCs.
And to tell you the truth, I will never use it.
Why is that?
I just don't have a reason to. I'm never going to use my, especially on a mobile device either.
Well, I mean, but I guess the use case isn't necessarily like you're sitting on the can wanting to play PlayStation games. It's more of, although that'd be kind of cool. That's the definitive advantage that the Nintendo Switch has, is that you can play it while you're on the crapper.
You can. Just go get a Vita. There's remote play on that.
Well, who gets Vitas anymore?
I have a Vita.
They don't even sell Vitas anymore, Willie.
I've had two. You can still get them brand new in box.
Yeah, but why? There's no new games coming for it.
Yeah, I think there are. 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 I think there are
There's no new games in North America coming out for it. Let me.
Fair
rephrase.
enough. Okay, now that caveat is important, and you need to say it.
All right. So clarification: the Vita was much bigger in Japan than it was here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great system. It was a great handheld.
Yes.
I mean, but it just didn't do well at all.
I think it would be interesting if they opened up the Sony Remote Play to other systems, other devices. That'd be cool, especially if they expand the back catalog. It's similar to what you're seeing with what Project xCloud is doing, which is pretty much any game that's playable on your Xbox is playable via xCloud. And it's the same principle that Google Stadia has, but it's Google Stadia. The less we say on that right now, the better. I still haven't found anyone I know that has been happy with it after trying it.
Like, why can't we say anything about it? It's terrible.
Yeah, well, that's more what I was meaning. Is there's really just not much to say other than the fact that it's blech.
It's what?
Blech.
One more time, please.
Blech.
Okay, I got it now.
You got it?
I heard you the second time.
I figured I'd just play along. And the other question is, if you're Sony, why would you do it? Because you're definitively in the lead right now.
By almost by 3 times, almost.
Yeah.
Jeez, like how? Like I'm so surprised by that still from last week.
It surprised me too.
I know Bachman doesn't know anything what we're talking about.
He listened to the podcast.
I know I was messing with him.
Mm-hmm. I know what's up. I'm not knocky. I pay attention.
Oh, Knox.
Yeah, no, I listened to the podcast this week while I was at work. I got caught up. Yeah, no, they got
ramble.
Huge chunk of the market share. Like Sony's way in the lead. They're not worrying about anybody catching them right now. But honestly, doing cross-platform would be a nice little tip of the hat to their customers, and they know it would make their fan base happy. It wouldn't hurt them. So it's not a bad idea.
I don't know. I guess the question is, via remote play, could you theoretically be like, I want to play Marvel's Spider-Man, but I'm not going to buy it because I don't have a PlayStation, but I want to use remote play. Would I just be able to digitally buy it, have a remote play account, and then play it on my Switch or my Xbox or my PC? I don't know enough about how it works. Is it a standalone thing, or does it require you to have your own PlayStation? Willie, I'm defaulting to you here because you might know better than me.
I'm trying to just think of trying to play that through remote play like that. Like, you have to have a good, steady connection. Like, I'm not sure if I would even want to attempt that through a Switch.
But it's possible, though, because, like, I've played Gears of War 5 using the xCloud beta for the Microsoft version of it, where I was streaming it to my phone that was plugged into a controller. And it was good most of the time. And I didn't run into latency issues. The problems I would run into is if Wi-Fi quality dropped or signal dropped, then the screen image would degrade some. But I wasn't having problems with controlling the game. So
latency was not a problem.
Latency was an issue. Now, You're Only God in the chat room says that remote play requires a PlayStation. So that's why they could put this on their consoles, theoretically, is the whole gimmick is you still have to have your PlayStation to be able to do it. You're not, like, booting up a game in the cloud and then playing it.
Because, I don't think that you'd be able to, like, hop on a Switch and then buy a digital copy of a Sony PlayStation exclusive game to remote play it on your Switch if you don't actually have a PlayStation.
See,
I would think the contracts for the exclusive games would stop that from happening.
And that's where it gets interesting, is because it looks like xCloud is theoretically you could just have a cloud-based version of your Xbox at some point in time. So you don't necessarily have to buy the hardware. You just have the xCloud service and you play your game in the cloud and push to your device of choice. That's not where they are now. That's what it looks like they've been angling towards, though.
To where you'd basically end up having a controller and an app.
Yeah, similar to what you've seen with Google Stadia.
Yeah, except hopefully done well.
I don't think it's a matter... Okay, so here's the problem with Stadia without me taking a dump on it more. They tried to get it out too fast and it clearly wasn't ready. Because
the technology's not there yet.
They saw what Microsoft and Sony and others have been doing in the cloud play segment. So they were trying to get ahead. And arguably they pushed too soon because, like I said, the Microsoft version is better. I've played the beta version of it, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to definitely say that was a misstep on Sony by getting that Genkai, I don't know.
I think is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, the PlayStation Now is. I've only tried like the 7-day free trial. I was like, I never had a problem with it, but I mean, I was, of course, had better internet when I did try it. At my current place, it's probably gonna be a no-go.
So, Willie, where you currently live now would be a good test case for a lot of these cloud play things. Is can you make it work on someone who's got what about a 5 megabit per second download?
I'm not that bad.
Okay, so what 10?
I think I'm up to 25 now.
Okay, 20. Well, 25 would be reasonable to do that. Then it's your upload. I think was your problem.
1.
Yeah, your upload is your problem.
1, maybe 2.
So, in regards to like playing games and stuff like
Don't
that,
even try to
I
get
think
me
you
to
have
upload
enough of a pipe
anything.
to be able to upload. Especially, well, as long as you're not trying to live stream. Now, theoretically, the way Google Stadia is set up, if you tried to broadcast and live stream that, it's not relying on your upload pipe. It's streaming and broadcasting directly from your version in their server to YouTube. So theoretically, Stadia would get you around your upload pipe limitations. Theoretically.
I mean that's the reason why I'm not streaming Jackbox games anymore. I would love to, but I can't because the lag's too bad.
Well, the question,
right, Bachman?
Yeah.
The question I would have for you, Willie, is if you did a speed test on your cell phone just connected to the LTE, does it have more of an upload speed? And if it does, if your data plan supports it, you could just hotspot your cell phone and then connect your PS4 to that and theoretically have a better upload speed.
I don't
That would be that would be sad though.
I mean, it's not unheard of though. There are other
No,
people
it's not unheard of.
I live in West Virginia. There's a lot of places here that don't have
Take
decent
me home.
internet.
Yeah. I was just thinking though, one of the upsides of this would be if they eventually all move to that type of build to where we're doing, you basically you would buy a controller every couple of years instead of buying a full system.
And a little dongle.
Yeah, and like a dongle, an app, whatever. The really cool thing will be how much energy like Sony and Microsoft will be able to put into updating controllers. The PlayStation controllers changed a little bit since the PS1. But it's really been like, a redo of the same thing, just adding features, making it a little better. And same thing with the Xbox controller. If that was the only piece of hardware that they actually worked on in like their 5-year, product, design, testing and launch, like we could get some really cool controllers coming like 10 years from now if they're no longer worrying about building the hardware and the specs of building, an actual console.
Well, but they are worried about building the hardware. It's agnostic to a user. We don't care about it because it's in a data center somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's never going to stop this hardware race. It's not like they're going to put the Microsoft and Sony new versions of the Xbox on the same data center that are literally just like right next to each other that use the exact same hardware, because what's the point? They're still going to try and find some way to have their competitive advantage. And as much as we think that the controllers might be that, let's talk to a 16-year-old kid just getting his console that he's been begging mom and dad for. I don't think they're going to care as much. More what they're caring about is little Johnny down the street plays on a PlayStation, so I want to make sure I can play with little Johnny still.
Yeah. Yeah, it's being able to play with your friends is still like the leading factor.
Well, I think the most important case is going to be exclusives.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's still going to drive a good chunk of the market.
I mean,
there
you
are
can't
people
play
that
Uncharted
only play
on Xbox.
Yeah, and there's people that only play Xbox because of Halo.
But
Like,
I was my next. You can't
Like,
play Halo
that's
on
their
PS,
one
PlayStation.
game that they're like, no, I'll never buy a PlayStation because I want to play Halo. And so like there's certain games that just lock people into a system.
Although in
Marvel
this day and
Spider-Man.
age, why do you
Yeah.
want to play Halo?
Because it's
Oh.
fun.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to be so good.
Yeah.
We need to get to play as Miles Morales.
I just saw. I forget what the YouTube channel is. They do that death battle thing. They put Miles Morales versus Static Shock. I was like, I would like to see that.
Yeah,
That could be a
interesting.
good fight, especially with Miles in the comics has a lot of electrical powers, so that would be kind of cool to see like his Venom Blast, what it would do to Static. That would be an interesting fight.
No. So, Willie, now that I got to read your news for you and you gave some feedback on it, I'd like to say thank you to begin with. And then say we're queuing Bachman up to go next.
Well, and obviously, you're welcome.
Oh, of course.
Wait, Chris, could you just read my news to me and then I'll just respond to it as well?
Is yours in the chat? Because I can do that. Let me go and pull the article real quick. It'll take
No,
me...
I got it. I got it.
I will do what you guys are requesting. I'm here to help.
Yeah.
I'm not
thank you
that
for
tired today. I could read my own news.
thank you for helping me be more lazy. We'll do this again next week.
I felt bad for you, Willie. In our pre-show chat, you said your back was hurting, so I wanted to try and take some of that load
pulled
off
muscle.
you and carry my weight of the show and a little bit of yours.
Just a pulled muscle, that's all.
He ain't heavy. He's your pod brother.
There you go. I mean, did we do too much unprotected advice last night? You threw your back, or excuse me, last week that you threw your back out?
No, it's never too much.
Never
baby.
too much.
Never.
It is my favorite segment in the show,
Baby.
just because I love the bump.
Yeah, the bump is good.
I mean, the content is also good. Let's not
I mean, the
discredit
content's
that.
all right.
The content's okay.
That's hurtful.
The bump's great.
I take pride in it.
I'm just messing with you, Willie. Go ahead, Bachman.
go.
What do you got for us, sir?
I found a CNET article that contains basically everything that's been part of the lead up to Apex Legends Season 4 Assimilation and covers most of the stuff. Written by Oscar Gonzalez. It was just posted on January 31st. And I love it because the title is Apex Legends Season 4, Forge, Revenant, Loba, and everything else we know. And then the underscore part is, now this is how you tease a new season. So for those that don't know, every time a new season comes out for Apex, this will be the 4th season coming out on the anniversary of the 1-year date for the game. Every time a new season comes out, they launch a new character. One time we've gotten a new map. I think both seasons we've gotten a new weapon for season 2 and 3. And so we are once again, Apex is coming out, Respawn in their, expanding the world of Titanfall, keeps adding to stuff. And they decided to do something really fun this time because there's been a whole bunch of people that are data mining Apex Legends. So every time there's a new patch, every time there's new stuff coming out, people pull the PC version of the game down and literally just go through the code line by line. And they look for every little update to a sound file, to this, that, the other thing, anything that's going to point the direction to what the next Legend's going to be. And there was a whole bunch of people online, like thousands of videos talking about how the new Legend was going to be this guy called Revenant. And everybody was having all these theories about what he was going to be and what he could do and blah, blah, blah. And then Apex kind of threw everybody for a curve when on January 23rd, the official Apex Legends Twitter account introduced a new character by the name of James the Forge McCormick. And they threw up this photo of this big buff dude, like wrapping his hand with like fist wrap, like a fighter, wearing a big giant kind of like Jax Mortal Kombat metal arm. Just look like, big badass wearing like what looked like a pro wrestling belt. And they announced, we've got someone we'd like you to meet. The newest dev stream is now live. Get your first look at Season 3 ranked rewards, new weapon, and our newest legend in Season 4, Forge. And then from there, they did stat cards where they showed like Forge's stats versus other different players and his thoughts on them. They had like quotes about what he was saying about some of the other legends and like just building all this stuff up. And then a couple days later, they had another tweet with the legends responding to what Forge had said about them, which was kind of cool. Because like the Bangalore one was just basically calling Forge like a sexist prick, which was hilarious, and like the Pathfinder one was really creepy. And then like they're making a big deal about Forge is going to be the first sponsored Apex Legend. He actually wore a medallion from Hammond Industries, which is the robotics company that makes. Wait, is it Hammond or Hamilton?
About that, you're talking about Hammond from Overwatch?
No, maybe it's Hamilton Industries.
Good old Hammond, Montana.
It's the company that makes the robots that are like Pathfinder from the Titanfall games. And so it was actually going to be a legend that was publicly sponsored by a company. And so he was they were building him up. It was Hammond Robotics. It is Hammond. So yeah, it's Hammond Robotics, the tech company from the Titanfall universe. And as they're doing this and introducing the character, they started doing little things talking about there were break-ins at the Hammond industry, little like screenshots of stuff going on the Twitter account. And it was really cool. Like they had all this build up, and then they did an interview where Forge was actually talking to a reporter, and she was introducing him to the world of Apex Legends. He was talking trash about how he was going to show up and kick all these people's asses. And then during the interview, like it's a animation sequence they did. It was like 30 seconds long. As they're talking, the lights flicker. They start worrying about technical difficulties, and then all of a sudden you see a guy behind Forge. And this crazy looking red, like demon robot appears behind him and shoves his hand through his chest. And then the reporters gets covered in blood. And then you get the technical warning screen, like goes blank. And then the Twitter account for Apex Legends got taken over by Outland TV. So they changed their entire Twitter account and then started reporting all this stuff that was coming out from Hammond Robotics. And you find out that, Forge isn't the new legend. Revenant is. And then they released the full trailer for Revenant and show that what it is a guy who thought he was an assassin And during an assassination where he cooked somebody out, he thought he was a normal looking human. He ends up killing this guy and all of his guards, and then takes like a shard of glass in the neck. And as he pulls it out, he's looking in a mirror, and like the hallucination, like the brainwashing breaks, and he sees what he is. And he sees that he's actually a robot. And so now, like, he's going after Hammond Industries because apparently he was an assassin bot built by them, fully brainwashed into thinking he was like a normal person that was just a hitman. And so now you've got this crazy ass robot who hates this company that like built part of the Titanfall universe. Like, they've built so much lore all up into just launching one new character. So it's like, oh no, it's not going to be Revenant. It's not going to be Revenant. Everything pointed to Revenant. It's not going to be Revenant. And they invented a whole new character just to kill him and introduce Revenant.
So it's cool, but I want another Titanfall game still, damn it.
Fair enough. Well, right now they're putting a lot of effort into Apex. But yeah, we got like changes to the rank system, changes to the maps coming. We got a new character coming, and the powers that they showed in the video, like, it's going to be weird to see how they translate to the game, what he's actually physically capable of doing. But yeah, it's all on the anniversary. So February 4th is Tuesday, which will be the 1-year anniversary of Apex. It will be the launch of new character, all the new updates, new changes, and then the season 4 assimilation will start. It will be the new ranked season as well. Like, I'm super excited. It's been a super fun game, and they actually did a split for some of the ranking. It used to be, I think Apex Predator was like the top 5,000 players. And so they're now adding in I think it's master class. So above diamond, you become a master, and then you have to get into the top 500 players in the world to be an Apex Predator. So now you're going to be like 0.0001% of the people playing this game to get that Apex Predator badge. And it's also going to be a constantly shifting. So whoever's in the top 500, if you're not playing, you will drop out of the top 500, and you will not be an Apex Predator.
I'm already the best in there.
So what's your account name so we can look you up on Apex Legends?
It's called the best because that's all there ever is with me.
Are you gonna woo now?
It's called Lies and Propaganda.
Yeah.
As I'll admit it, I'm gold. I was reaching for platinum. Did not get it in season 3. I've been gold 2 seasons in a row. And then, the other breakdown, they're doing a split season for the ranked season, which is going to be weird. So the first half of the ranked season this time is going to be in World's Edge, the map that we're playing on now. Then there will be a soft reset mid-season, and the map will move back to Kings Canyon. So a lot of the characters that haven't constantly been able to play on Kings Canyon, and some of the new players that have never played on Kings Canyon, will be playing on Kings Canyon for the first time. And so we're assuming that Kings Canyon is going to get a nice update after they remove all the stuff from the Shadowlands Halloween event, because we had Kings Canyon for a couple days during the Grand Soiree event that they just did. It was 2 days of playing in Kings Canyon at night again, but they hadn't put the jump towers back in.
So why are all the kiddies still playing Fortnite instead of Apex? Because Apex sounds like it's so much better.
Because they're stupid.
I mean, I say that only like half jokingly, but maybe it's just because I'm old and don't get Fortnite as easily as other folks do, but this seems like it's more fun than the story that's built around it, and I like the gameplay more after playing both of them.
Yeah, the gameplay is way better, and it has nothing to do with trying to build a house during a gunfight. It's fucking stupid. I mean,
there's something cool in Fortnite about you're getting attacked, and if you can real quick build something around you, you can protect yourself long enough to heal. That's kind of cool to see.
Oh, that thing staying long enough for you to heal.
Yeah, I know. Especially if you're playing some of those guys that are really good at the game. I am intrigued by the fact that Fortnite is so popular that you've got people that are making hundreds of millions of dollars off of playing it, signing contracts to play it exclusively on streaming platforms. That's cool, but the game doesn't really appeal to me as much as something like Apex did. Apex, I've played some, and like, this is fun. I like this more than Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, I give Fortnite a shot. I logged into it. I played a couple of matches over a couple of different weekends with different friends at different times, played different game modes and stuff, and I never actually enjoyed it. Like, I never had fun playing it. It was never enjoyable.
I just need me some Apex Legends on the Nintendo Switch so I can play on the go.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, I played every single season, every update of Apex Legends, like... I've been loving this game since it launched. It filled the hole in my heart that the toxicness of Overwatch left when I fucking deleted that game off my PlayStation. Decided, yeah, I don't need that negativity in my life. I'm getting rid of Overwatch.
Wait. I thought you had the disc.
Yeah, but I still deleted all the downloads.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, that's a very toxic community.
Yeah, that was the 6-on-6 world of Overwatch was becoming no fun. I was not enjoying it, and yeah, I give Fortnite a chance. Like I tried it, but I mean, yeah, it's just so weird because it's a game that wasn't designed to be what it is. It wasn't even designed to be a battle royale. It was designed to be a zombie fighter, and nobody actually plays the version of the game that they try to sell to people. People only play the free battle royale mode that they did as a
that's
joke.
because Epic pivoted real fast when they saw PUBG's popularity and stuff like that. That's the interesting thing is PUBG was what everyone was talking about for so long. When's the last time you heard someone talk about PUBG not as the punchline of a joke at this point in time?
When it came to Xbox.
Yeah.
Mm.
Microsoft spent a boatload of money to get it console exclusive on Xbox for a while, but nobody cared because Fortnite came up and was just like, we're going to pivot to doing Battle Royale now. And
then it was free everywhere as well. It's like, oh, just grab it. There you go. But yeah, no, I've been loving some Apex. I'm looking forward to Season 4. I'm going to try to stretch my legs and get my little new butt up to platinum.
Willie, you going to play with him?
Get a
you gonna
better
be an
colored
Apex legend?
Maybe, we'll see.
Oh, what are you going to play instead? Death by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight, first of all.
Excuse me, I apologize.
And second of all, sure, if he doesn't want to make it to platinum, I'll play with him.
What he's saying is he'd drag you down.
No, I'm terrible.
Yeah, I am to Willie on Dead by Daylight what he is to me on Apex Legends. An anchor.
Oh no! You're great on Dead by Daylight because it means the killer's going after you and putting you on the hook and not me.
Fair enough.
I'm safe.
That's true. Yeah, on Apex, you're actually hurting my team.
Yeah, I know, which is all right by me.
No, but that's why we have unranked matches. So yeah, when me and Your Only God get on, we play ranked with the good players, and then if Willie or my buddy's kid Wilson want to play, we play unranked. That way, it's just fun and it doesn't count.
Makes sense.
It doesn't count, just like my sex life.
Oh. Well, if it doesn't count, then how'd you throw your back out?
How'd you throw your back out?
Listen, I've learned a lesson. Chris, you remember what happened when we first met? Like, literally met?
Yes.
What happened?
You picked me up and gave me a giant bear hug.
Yes, I picked you up and gave you a giant bear hug. I've learned that I can't do that.
That it's inappropriate for you to just grab people and pick them up?
He did it to everyone, though. It was fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it was discriminatory. He was only finding the attractive people to do it because obviously he hugged me. I'm not one of those attractive people.
No, I did that.
Willie did it to
all
everyone.
you people were attractive.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
All you sexy bitches. Nothing, really? Fuck y'all.
I try.
You didn't try nothing. There was not even a crack of a smile.
It was a smirk.
I was just the ass crack of that reaction.
Well, I mean, you said it, not me.
I know. This is true.
Well, let's go to our last news story here. And as we get into it, I want to ask, do you guys remember the Xbox Adaptive Controller? Have we talked about it on this show before?
Yes, we have.
No.
So for those
you're asking me to remember?
Okay. For those that aren't familiar, then the Xbox Adaptive Controller is the game controller. Use the same word a lot there. The Microsoft developed primarily for disabled gamers that have difficulty playing games. You could plug in a variety of different peripherals to it and make it work with all sorts of touch sensors, joysticks, third-party products, basically trying to make it easier for disabled gamers to be able to play games. It worked on PC, Xbox. I believe people have modded it to make it work and connect via Bluetooth to the Switch and the PlayStation 4 as well. It's an awesome little tool, and for most people, you're probably never going to use it, but for those people that were having difficulty playing games, it's opening up worlds for them, being able to allow them to play all sorts of things that they never were really easily able to do so. Microsoft did make a big point of saying it was going to be open to all sorts of third-party add-ons to allow you to play all sorts of things. There's now a third-party add-on called the Freedom Wing adapter that has been put out that allows you to turn power wheelchairs into game controllers.
I'm sorry, what?
It allows you to take power wheelchairs and turn them into game controllers. The box connects to the Xbox One adaptive controller through its 9-pin port. That means the joystick that controls the wheelchair every day can now be turned into a button, or a controller rather, which is particularly useful for people already used to their joysticks and buttons. There is a charity organization called Able Gamers that created the device alongside ATM Makers, a group of tech makers and enthusiasts who focus on assistive technology. The Freedom Wing adapter is being given out through Able Gamers, and people can apply for a grant for one on Able Gamers' website. What's really cool is they found a company to make the printed circuit boards, which sell for around $7, meaning that when it's all said and done, gamers can build their own setup for $35, and all of the other required materials like instructions to build the device are all going to be published online for you to be able to download and use for free.
All right,
Nice.
this is going to be might be a little bit of a deep cut, but I've already seen this before.
Okay.
Who remembers the Thomas Jane Punisher movie?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yeah, the character, what's his name? The one with all the
Chainsaw?
piercings.
Spaker Dave, the one with all the metal in his face.
Yeah. When you first see him, he's used like a wheel. I thought he was in a wheelchair, but nope. He's just using it as like a game controller. He has like in the side of the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think he was just sitting in a power wheelchair using a controller, but then he spun the chair.
I remember it being like they were like on this arms, like the actual sticks and whatever.
It may have been, but I'm not sure. I have to rewatch it.
I mean, that's never a bad thing, right?
$35 for them to make it so that they can wire their wheelchair and the joystick they're already used to controlling to control games, in addition to the
wheelchair
Xbox
controller.
adaptive controller. That's
You know,
pretty
it's
cool.
You know, let's attach that with VR too.
Well, I mean, theoretically, you could make the button presses and stuff work via the Xbox adaptive controller. I don't know how you then would take something you control by waving your hand around, and if it would be a straight one-to-one comparison of hooking up into a joystick or not. That's something they still need to figure out, is how you could make VR more accessible to those with disabilities.
You know, that's fair.
I mean, that's not to say it's not going to happen, but I don't think that this gets us there yet.
No, but it's a step in the right direction for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
And yeah.
really cool.
You got to figure a lot of people where they've got like the very customized wheelchairs that like getting like the arm length to that joystick, getting everything perfectly set. Like if it's a person that's basically living in that chair, a lot goes into making sure that they sit in it, they're comfortable or as comfortable as they can be. And like everything is, you know, at the right distance for them. And then making those controls that they're already using every day adapt to a gaming system. Like that's awesome.
Right. And I
Because
think,
yeah, they're not having to learn a new controller.
I think the biggest thing with this one is, like you said, it's already the controller they're used to touching every day. It's already put in a prime place for them to be able to control their chair. And if you can then use that to control the game you want to play, that's really cool. Now, I assume right now there's some cabling that has to be handled by someone to help do this. There is actually a video that The Verge has shared that was also made in conjunction with Able Gamers, which is a demo of them using the Freedom Wing adapter with a gamer who is disabled. So this prototype is already out there, it's already working, and they're going to be publishing everything you need to make your own or purchase them coming up. So I think it's just cool in general.
Well, you know what? I hope it's going to be more than $35 to build your own, because you also have to include the cost of adding a wheelie bar to it, because those moves are going to be on fire and they're going to flip shit.
I see what you did there. I like it.
You're welcome. I try.
They also did mention, and I missed this part, which is Able Gamers Chief Operating Officer Steve Spahn told The Verge in an interview the 9-pin connectors needed to connect the wheelchair to the device are standard on wheelchair joysticks. So it's not like it's unique to just one provider. It's a standard connector that's used for controlling motorized wheelchairs. So in theory, pretty much any wheelchair joystick, it sounds like, could be used with this Freedom Wing adapter and an Xbox adaptive controller to then control an Xbox game. And also, I misspoke, they haven't got it working with PlayStation yet. Someone did hack it to work with the Switch, though. So it is working on Xbox, Switch, and PC currently.
You know the modders are going to mod.
Right, and this is one I don't really see Sony being like, oh, we're going to block this because we don't want someone using their adaptive controller on a PlayStation, because those would be terrible optics if they're like, oh, we're going to ban this guy who the only way he can play is by using this custom rig just because we're not officially supporting it.
Well, the only reason I think they might do it is because they're coming out with their own kind of controller like that.
Are they? I hadn't seen that.
If they do,
wrong?
If they do, that's
they'd have
awesome.
to move. They'd have to move on it quick. Because the optics of the public opinion on that, if they try to put a kibosh on people with disabilities using a controller to work with their system, Like that would be so bad for Sony.
Yeah, it would not go over well.
No.
Regardless, it's cool. These are one of those stories you see and you go, oh man, this technology is cool. And while it's not something I'm going to be using, it's really neat that it's out there that can help people further play games that we're not able to.
Video games are supposed to be for everybody to have fun.
Uh,
Everybody.
The Xbox adaptive controller, I don't imagine Microsoft sells a ton of them, but I don't think the intent behind making them was to sell a ton of them. The intent was, all right, let's be honest, part of it's they get some good PR out of it, I honestly think. But part of it is the way Phil Spencer's talked about the product is he wants everyone to be able to play games. It doesn't matter whether it's on his console, on a PC, whether it's on a competitor console. That in fact, I believe when it dropped, he said they didn't care what devices it worked with, and they would be willing to help make it work on other devices.
I see, and that's cool.
Phil Spencer's, that's the best guy to be leading the Microsoft Xbox division right there. The dude gets it, and he plays on multiple consoles too. So like, he's gone on and played like Destiny 2 with people on his PlayStation and stuff like that before.
Well,
he just plays games.
I mean, there was one person who was better, and he worked for PlayStation, and that was Kevin Butler. If you remember those awesome commercials for the PS3.
That is true. That is true. I had forgotten about Kevin Butler.
Oh, he's amazing. Oh, they made a mistake in firing him or getting rid of that character because he did a commercial for somebody else doing the same character.
Yeah.
That was sad. Like, come on, just let him have it. This is really that big of a deal.
Well, it was to Sony, it would appear. But regardless,
those commercials were great.
This is a feel-good story. I like seeing things like that. And from a technology standpoint, it's really cool to see them make something that is not prohibitively expensive, that allows gamers to use current tech that they have and game with.
No. This is for gamers to be gamers.
Yeah.
If they don't use that tagline for this goddamn product, I will be pissed. Helping gamers be gamers.
Here's the thing.
Done.
I've never actually seen the adaptive controller advertised. It's more of there was a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff that dropped and there was some press about it, but it's not like you turn on the TV and you see an advertisement for Xbox One now with Xbox adaptive controller or something like that. Because
no, they had the one commercial that played, I think, during some of the NFL games where it was literally like kids running across their neighborhood to go see a kid that was playing a game.
That's
right. And it was a kid, and he was using the adaptive controller on his wheelchair.
You're right. I remember that now. Yeah.
Did he have a wheelie bar?
But it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like a big splash like Microsoft, Xbox, whatever. They're just like, hey, these kids are having fun. Like, yeah, it wasn't done like a normal commercial.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, just to sum it up, it's cool that it's out there and allows more people to play games and to enjoy a hobby that, hey, let's be honest, everyone on this show has enjoyed to varying levels from time to time.
Since Pong.
Yeah. Willie, I think you're muted right now if you were talking.
Oh, not to you.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
You think you're that important?
I do think I'm that important. Because
Willie seems to be distracted.
Because without me, you just disappear.
All right.
Oh,
that's cool with me. You can still hear me though, right?
I mean, I could mute you, but I'm lazy.
Yeah.
That's one too many extra button clicks.
Your mom's a button click.
That wasn't very nice.
Well, geez.
Man, you hurt my feelings, Willie. I'm sad.
Yeah, that button gets pressed more than your mom's panties last week.
Yikes.
Man.
I'm sorry. That was a little far, wasn't it?
Man.
It just keeps going.
Well, I mean, sorry. I've been watching Letterkenny. The spirit of Shoresy's in me.
Oh, so much Shoresy.
Well, Willie.
I mean, my jersey right now I'm wearing says 69.
Willie, my feelings have been hurt, and I think I'm going to need to get some advice on how to make myself feel better.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
Protected all the way in, baby.
So the advice I need, I just pulled this right off of a show that I was watching live, is my friend keeps being mean about my mom while we live stream, and I don't know how to handle it. So, Mr. Willie Nelson, how should I handle this person being mean about my mom?
All right, I got this. So really what you need to do is reevaluate. See, I mean, is this friend really worth it if he's going to be making fun of you like that? I mean, if it is,
I thought so, but
yes,
it
but
hurts, and I don't know how to properly tell him that the mom jokes are painful and they need to stop.
And also, is he having sex with your mom for real? Because that also would change the story. Maybe he's just trying to ease you into it by telling you, by joking first, and then actually coming out with saying, well, your mom really does get it from me.
As far as I know, one Mr. William Nelson is not having sex with my mother.
Do you like how serious I went with it?
So your advice is that I just need to accept that someone's going to make those jokes about this hypothetical person's mother? That's your
If you
advice?
can accept it, go for it. If you can't, then say, yeah, I'm not friends with this person no more, and cut them off. No, go NC, no contact.
Okay. Well, Willie, I think that's been some solid advice, and thank you everyone for joining us for another segment.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
I'm protected all the way in, baby.
Hey, Willie, I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that since you teased me with the whole. I thought we were actually going to do unprotected advice. So yeah,
I wasn't planning on doing it until I was like,
I think
hey.
he just likes that bump. He just
I
likes
like
that
the
bump so much. He uses
I
any
mean, no,
excuse.
I thought we were really going to do it. I was like, awesome. And I was
You-
like, all right,
you
we're going to
did
start a little
give-
jokey. Okay,
You
didn't know.
gave some
What do you
good
mean we
advice
did?
there.
We just did it. What do you mean were we going to do it? We did it.
That was at least good advice.
It was good advice. It was good advice. No.
That's all I give.
Sorry, guys, for teasing you with an actual segment of Unprotected Advice with Willie
Tease
Nelson.
me the worst.
I just saw the opportunity was there for a good joke.
Give me a cigarette.
We will do it again sometime in the next month. That is our plan. Sometime again in February, we will do another installment of Unprotected Advice with Willie Nelson.
Good thing it's a short goddamn month.
It's actually, this is a leap year, so there's 29 days this year.
It's still short.
Only a
Yeah.
day short now.
The
Instead
long
of 2.
version of the short mud.
Or 2. Could be 2 days short.
Shut up.
Which one would you you're comparing it to?
What?
Fuck you, everybody.
I'm clipping that to go and put in the soundboard later.
You're welcome.
It is 10:10.
12:10.
I already hit the clip button. It's on Twitch and clipped.
There you go. 1 hour, 17 minutes in.
Yep, it is at the 57-minute and 20-second mark on the recording.
Is that good?
I enjoyed it,
I'll take
It was
it.
pretty
and
good.
that's all that really matters.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Quest away, sir.
Is that a Pan Am shirt you're wearing?
It is a NASA shirt.
Oh, close enough. Oh, I was going to do a bad joke. I'm glad I thought better of it.
It is a NASA shirt. That being said, we do need to start shutting this thing down. We've gone about an hour now, but before we shut down the show, we do like to wrap things up with a little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just
awesome.
maybe, you'll want to check them out yourselves.
I can go first.
Willie, you'd like to go first?
Yeah.
This is going to be making fun of my mother, isn't it?
So go ahead and ask me what I've been getting into.
Willie, what have you been getting into, sir?
Your mother, Trebek!
Oh, no. The penis
leveled up.
right here, Trebek.
Your mom joke skills have leveled up. You have now hit level 2, Willie. Level
There you
2.
I'll take the rapist for 800, Trebek.
You have to tell me about the penis mightier.
I don't remember the punchline, but your mother's a whore.
Where are we? Your wager? Indoors. Or excuse me, your answer? Indoors. Your wager? I heart boobs. All right,
Also,
Willie.
that's never a wrong answer.
That's not. Willie, what you been getting into, buddy?
Oh, I was unprepared. Let me see.
We can come back to you if you want.
No, I haven't been getting into much of anything. I haven't really seen anything new. So how about this? Yesterday, I had to go to my dad's to set up his internet, which was already set up. So I was like, awesome, I'm done. I did everything. But I got him a Blu-ray player, and it can stream stuff like Netflix. No Hulu. That's weird. But it streams Pandora. What? Why? Whatever. But when I plug it in and like try and turn it on, there's no signal. So I check the HDMI cable. I switch HDMI cable, still no signal. I'm like, what's going on here? Why is this not working? And I did the modem trick, or the router, the modem trick. I unplugged it, and I waited, and I plugged it back in after a while, and that worked. How does that work for a Blu-ray player?
It still has chips in it. It still have capacitors in it, and sometimes if something gets overcharged and doesn't discharge correctly, it can fuck with the system. And so literally unplugging it and giving it 10 seconds will let a capacitor that's sitting at full charge that's not supposed to be, it will let the electricity in that capacitor discharge and reset itself.
That's fair. Stop being so logical.
That's literally why turning it off and turning it back on works for a lot of electronics.
And for my life.
It's true.
And for a lot of other things.
And my dick.
Who's turning that off and then
your
turning
dick
it back
off and
on?
back on again?
Myself.
So what? You just sit there like, think on sexy thoughts, think on sexy thoughts, think on sexy thoughts, and then turn it off?
Sex thoughts. No, I'm an edgelord, Betty.
Just sitting there thinking about baseball.
I'm edging the whole day long.
I shouldn't have asked.
If you don't know what edging is.
This is my fault.
Go look it up on Google.
This is my fault.
And make sure you put in edging sexual act.
I'm really sorry, everyone. I really am.
I'm edging right now.
Of course he is. What else? What else?
Hold on. I'm looking at Chris's face, getting turned on. Oh, I'm looking at Bachman's face, getting turned off. Looking at Chris's face, turned on. But yes, it's going on and off.
Fair enough.
Hey, I got the episode title for this week now.
Turn Willie off.
Willie
Turn
the
Willie off
Edgelord.
and on. Willie the Edgelord.
I love it. I mean, when don't you use my name for a pun?
Liberty dude in the chat room. Did he just tell Willie to discharge?
I think so. I think he did.
You gotta get me to the end of the day, man. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Then what have I been doing with all?
What else you been getting into besides mentally stimulating yourself, Willie?
I've been playing some Dead by Daylight. I did finish Jedi Fallen Order.
Nice.
A non-spoiler review of it, since some of you haven't even really played much of it. Chris. It seemed like it ends at the second act and the third act. Like, I felt like there was supposed to be more. Like, I was like, okay, I didn't think it was the end. I was like, oh, the game's over? What? I was kind of confused. It kind of reminds me of that, like the PlayStation exclusive game, The Order 1886. That was a very short game, but it was very well done. If you have an option to play it, I would say try it, especially you, Bachman. It's pretty much Victorian era London with, like, hunting vampires and werewolves.
That's Order 1866?
1886.
1886.
So you can probably find it for $5 or cheaper.
Yeah, it's probably dirt cheap now. It's been out for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great game. It's just short, and that's what people have problems with. But it looked amazing. Even it probably still looks amazing to this day because they overramped that. But yeah, Fallen Order, it just felt sure like I thought. There's this all the planets you got in here? You got any more than planets?
Yeah, y'all got any more than planets?
That's exactly what I was going for. But it's been fun. So I finished that, and I was like, do I want to try and get the platinum, or do I just want to start The Witcher?
Go for The Witcher.
So I did start The Witcher. I might go try. I don't know if the platinum's going to be doable for it, because there's one thing where you have to have all the maps 100% explored. And it doesn't really help you with that. Like, all right, so where it tells you this area right here in this map, you only explored 95% of it. And it will not show you where the other 5% is. Like, I have no idea annoying. Where to go. Like, where do you want me to go, game? Tell me where you want me to go.
That's what online guides are for.
I mean, no, because that can't help you because that doesn't know where you've been.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's just kind of walking in circles until you cover everything.
And that's for every. And I'm going to say their maps for the planets, they could be done a lot better, especially with how much backtracking you have to do. Like,
how many planets are there total?
I think 5, 6 if you count the very last one. I'm not going to spoil what it is.
Okay.
But you only really go in. You can't revisit or anything. It's just for the final mission, and that's it.
Oh.
And even when you're doing like the new, like not new gameplay, when you're doing like the you can still play through. You can still go through all the other planets after you beat the game, but you can't go back and redo the ending again, unless you start a new game and go all the way through all over again.
That's kind of annoying.
And like just the way the maps are, they're very linear, kind of like. I mean, it does veer off from side to side, but a lot of it's like going straight through. So backtracking, you have to always come back through exactly where you. There's no like loops around, like where I can cut through here and end up over here, blah blah. There's a little bit of that, but not enough. And it's like, wow, I got to go through this map again and go all the way over there. That's a pain. And there's no quick way to get back to your ship. Once you go all the way, you also have to travel all the way back.
Yeah, that part I found kind of annoying. After I finished the Wind Temple and got the first force power and started heading back to the ship, it's like, oh, it's all the fucking way across the world. Like,
nope, that's not even that bad. No, that's the most. Oh, that's a cakewalk compared
Oh boy.
to the next planet you go to, Zephos. And I'm not even talking about the first time you go there. Wait till you go there the second time.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris, the next planet you go to is Zephos because you're still on the tutorial planet.
Hey,
I'm calling you out.
Guess what? I don't care.
And The Witcher, it's been fun. I haven't really got into it too much, that much. So, but hey, if anyone's feeling generous, toss a coin to your Willie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with a part with the Old Valley of Plenty part, but I just can't think of it.
I know.
Old Valley of Nelson.
Well, Willie, we look forward to hearing about your progress in The Witcher next week.
Witcher.
Let me go next, and we'll let Bachman wrap things up for us. So, I bought some new headphones this week because my Bluetooth headphones I'd had before failed. So, I saw they were on sale, and I got the Amazon Echo Buds, and I'm pleasantly surprised with them so far. They have really good noise isolation, which I have enjoyed when I was wearing them at the gym while running errands, things like that, because I couldn't hear people around me. It even worked well enough that when I was shredding a bunch of paperwork that I need to clean up at the house, I couldn't really hear the shredder through them. So that was kind of nice. Other stuff. Watched Picard Episode 2. I like where they're going with it. They're building things up. And if you want to see Picard Episode 1, they put it up for free on YouTube for this month. So you can watch Episode 1 of Picard for free on YouTube and on Pluto TV.
All right, time to watch that.
Right? I've also been playing some Anthem, which we touched on at the beginning of the show. When it works, it's fun. When it doesn't, it really frustrates the hell out of me. And they do have major problems with load screens. Major problems with load screens because it just takes forever to load, and it really shouldn't on an Xbox One X. Should not take that long. And then finally, kind of last thing I really been getting into that's worth calling out this week, it was the end of an era. We recorded the finale of the Starling Tribune, the very last episode covering the series finale of Arrow, the last episode entitled Fade Out. That is up now in your podcast catchers, and the video version is up now on the Gonna Geek YouTube page. The show's over. It was a hell of a run. It's actually the first podcast that's kind of ended naturally that I've done and had end, where everyone's like, hey, we've reached a stopping point, and we shut it down. That's not to say it'll be gone forever. There's always the possibility we may get that itch to come back and talk about something random in the Arrowverse and could always fire off a new episode. But for all intents and purposes, the Starling Tribune has wrapped its run after 263 episodes.
Nice. It had to be something else. It had to become something else. Canceled.
It wasn't canceled, just not renewed.
Fair enough. But I know if they end up turning around doing the Birds of Prey version of Girl Arrow and the Sirens, is the Starling Tribune going to continue?
I do not believe so.
They already did a Birds of Prey show. What happened to that? Oh, wait, it got canceled.
So they did a backdoor
pilot.
I
have it all on DVD out in my living room.
I'm sorry. Was it any good?
Ish.
It had good moments.
It doesn't matter because it got canceled. Sadly, you can say the same about
that, so that's not fun. That's not fun.
You can say the same about Firefly.
That's true.
It's a shame. Fuck you, Fox. I'm glad you're not there anymore.
Yeah, tell us how you feel.
I'm glad your name's even getting changed.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be 20th Century.
But But yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you enjoyed the Starling Tribune or you enjoyed Arrow, please come back, check out the last episode if you may have dropped off, because it's kind of fun to say goodbye to it all. And the video, like I mentioned, everything is up already. There's a nice little surprise when you start the show. It's a lot of fun. Go check out episode 263 of the Starling Tribune, because this is my last chance I have to plug it. So I'm going to plug it.
Nice. So did the Arrow finale get you in the feels?
It was good. I think it was one of the best finales that I've seen recently. And then I watched the Good Place finale, and I said, holy crap, the Good Place also nailed their finale. And the Good Place actually made me cry. The Arrow finale did not, but I felt emotion, if that counts.
Well, you are a human, right?
I'm a Cylon,
Supposedly.
I believe in the one true God, the Cylon God.
Uh-oh. Now we're getting deep into religion. All right.
But yeah, actually, Good Place finale was really good as well. Like I just touched on. I think both them and the Arrow team kind of showed the right way to land a finale by trying not to shove everything in the finale. Like, oh my God, we've got to reveal everything and save everything for the very last episode. They were smart in the way they wrapped things up, which was there was not a ton of dangling plot threads, and it was more just story driven. And as the characters say farewell, you say farewell to them too. And I will say, on one note, on the Green Arrow finale, or Arrow one.
I was saying there was one dangling thread on Green Arrow that was pretty big.
That one was goddamn awesome, which is Diggle presumably finding a Green Lantern ring. But they're not allowed to say that. Evidently, that deal was brokered a year ago with Warner Brothers, and that was all they're allowed to do, was show him opening a box with something green and glowing inside. They cannot call him a Green Lantern or anything like that.
So it's like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, basically. He opened up something that had a green LED in it instead of a gold one.
Oh, so it's really Ving Rhames' soul.
Yes.
But that's what I've been getting into. Bachman, wrap things up for us. What you been getting into?
I also got to the end of Arrow, which was a extremely well done finale for a show that lasted 8 years and did a lot to bring a whole lot of superhero comic book TV to the mass audience, and kind of keep the CW running for a while when Supernatural was pretty much the only thing they had other than Arrow that was actually apparently getting people to tune in. And now because of that, we've gotten a whole bunch of crazy ass awesome shows like Riverdale and Sabrina and all the other stuff they're taking chances on. So it's kind of cool that Arrow helped. Like, it kind of took, the kickstart of what Smallville did and moved that along, and then basically give us, let's be honest, Batman on TV by just not calling him Batman, because it was Oliver Queen as Bruce Wayne. And we got 8 years of that, and it was pretty fucking cool. And yeah, it's awesome now, because also it's going to be really cool to see what Stephen Amell does as he's going forward, because he's got a huge character under his belt, and he might disappear for a while, or he might pull a Tom Welling and just go away for a decade. But I have a feeling he just finished that movie with his cousin Robbie Amell that they did Code 8 together, which was also about superheroes. So they don't seem to be adverse to keeping things together in the family and in the universe.
Code 8 was picked up for a TV series too.
Code 8, is that a sequel to Super 8?
It is not.
No.
Or a prequel?
Yeah,
no,
Code 8 was picked up for a sequel for a series run, and he's doing a wrestling show on Stars called Heels now.
What about the Hateful Eight? Is it a sequel to Hateful Eight?
No, it's not. Everything with the 8 is not in the same universe.
What about
Fate of the Furious?
Yeah, that's what I was going to I was going to my next one.
I'm just getting ahead of the 8.
And the last Harry Potter film?
Yeah.
No,
Deathly Hallows Part 2?
They only made... Oh, wait, was there 8?
There was 7 Part 2.
Yeah, 7
part. That was
Deathly Hallows.
Well, 7 Part 1 was bullshit. So boring. I couldn't finish it. No, I don't care about these little kids taking a camping trip and getting pissed at each other. I don't care. Boo.
Yeah, we can just watching that.
I don't like you. I'm out of here. Blah, 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 blah.
And I've been listening to Willie make lots of weird noises. I've been getting into that.
Oh, you've been getting into it, huh?
Oh, not like that. No. Knock it off. Shut up. Shush. Stop it.
Make me.
No, I don't want to.
Fair.
I've also been working on my Goodreads challenge. I think I'm like 4 books into the year, so I'm on path to hit my 50 for the year. I lowered my goal again from 60 back down to 50 because 50 seems doable. I finished off like 2 or 3 trade paperbacks already, and I'm roughly halfway into the Thunderhead, which is the second book in the Arc of the Scythe series. It's another one of those like kind of cool young adult dystopia futures where the Thunderhead is actually the AI that runs the world and has figured out immortality for humans. So pretty much anytime you die, you don't actually die. You become what they call dead-ish, and you can be resurrected. And then people live long enough that they can go back and reset themselves. So basically, like when you hit 60, you can go to a rejuvenation center and turn your clock back to 20, and you walk out as a 20-year-old again with all your memories. Your body's just reset. And so the one problem they have in this world is that because people aren't dying anymore, the overpopulation starts getting crazy. So they invent scythes, and a scythe's job is to go around and basically randomly kill people and make them actually dead. And so it's a weird like future dystopia world where I'm pretty sure they've already optioned it for a movie. It's because it's a 3-book series. Like we know it's coming. It's gonna be a show. It'll be another Hunger Games or whatever. But yeah, really interesting book. I'm halfway through the second one. Really enjoying that one.
Wasn't that also your nickname? Wasn't that your nickname in high school too?
What, the Thunderhead?
Yes.
Only on Tuesdays. Yeah, so I've been enjoying that. It's a good one. I read the first Vader of the new series from the Marvel Comics. That trade was really good. Picked up the new. They started a new Guardians of the Galaxy comic book again. They relaunched another #1 at Marvel because that's what they do. But the new team is kind of cool because it's a mix of some of the Guardians that people know from the comics and some of the Guardians that people know from the movies now. So it's Rocket and Star-Lord along with Richard Rider Nova and Phyla Vel, the Captain Marvel from another universe, and Moondragon. And they're doing a weird like fight with the resurrected Roman gods. Moondragon. So it's like a new version of Zeus, which is kind of creepy. But yeah, the first issue of that was cool. Wrong comic book company. That's Image.
I know. I was kidding.
No, of course. Congratulations to Image. I think they just had what was it? Their 20th anniversary. Like Image just celebrated their anniversary yesterday. I think.
Could be. Yeah.
So, yeah. Eric Larson. A lot of the guys were popping off talking about stuff online. And actually, there was a video. Speaking of the Image and the founders, Mark Silvestri's got a Kickstarter coming for a hardcover relaunch of the first collected hardcover edition of the first 19 issues of Witchblade, the character he created when they started the launch of Image. And I guess it's the first time they've collected that specific run of Sarah Pacelli's character, the original Witchblade, into one big hardcover. So there's going to be a Kickstarter coming for that, which will probably do pretty well because it's Top Cow. Mark Silvestri seems to be gold whenever he puts books out. They're pretty good. But yeah, I've been doing that, playing a little Dead by Daylight, getting through the Rift, trying to work on my challenges, taking a break on Apex just because I know the Season 4 starting next week. It's going to be crazy, so I'll be playing a ton of that. So I've been basically backing off of shooting people and just running around killing people as the new Doctor, because the Doctor rework on Dead by Daylight is fun as hell. His new static charge ability, not having to switch between treatment and punishment anymore, so that you can literally shock somebody as soon as your hand goes down. You can hit them with your weapon and not have to pull the weapon back out. It plays way more smoothly. And I haven't got much actually of the Leary's map even after the relaunch, which is kind of weird. I've only played on that map like twice.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. It is a super pretty. It's probably like the Nightmare on Elm Street update that they did to that map made that map more playable. But this is the best looking update that they've done to a map of any change since I started playing the game.
Agreed.
The new Leary's is gorgeous. It looks so creepy. It's so like it's cinematic now. Like it looks like you could go shoot a movie inside this place. Inside the new Leary's that they built. It's a gorgeous update. So yeah, with them doing that, I'm excited to see now what they do with the next update, the next time they change a map, which was also part of the Survey Monkey thing. They asked like which maps need updating, they'll get a percentage of clicks of people saying certain maps want to be updated. And honestly, I just want all the farmers to be updated because I hate the goddamn corn. As a killer, I hate the corn.
Yeah, I love the corn.
Yeah. As a survivor, it's great. As a killer, it sucks, especially if you're one of the short killers. When you're playing the Hag, the corn maps are a giant pain in the ass.
Well, you deserve it if you play the Hag.
Oh, if I play the Hag, you die.
You're a camping hag, ain't you? Which makes no sense.
You don't need to camp as the Hag. You teleport.
I know, but why do people do it then?
Because people are bad at playing that character. Yeah, so but get some Dead by Daylight in, and then I jumped back onto my Jedi Fallen Order and got done with the second planet, went back to Bogana for the first time and redid a section, and then went to Kashyyyk for the first time last night. So I got to meet Saw Gerrera right before I watched Saturday Night Live last night. Got that part done, so that was cool. So I made it to Kashyyyk. Found some Wookiees to hang out with. Got my new double-bladed lightsaber, so I got that updated on it. I've got like 4 or 5 skins for almost everything in the game at this point. Having a lot of fun. The combat on that game is a little stiff, but it is fun to play. It's a fun world to go through and like run around and find stuff. It's cool to find all the little hidden boxes. So yeah, it's one where if I hit one of those maps where like Willie said it's 95% and I need to finish the last 5%, that's gonna suck. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a fun one. And then watched the Saturday Night Live last night, which was hilarious. JJ Watt was on with Luke Combs, and going into Super Bowl weekend, having a football player on there that actually has a really good personality was kind of a good pull for them. And just a couple of good sketches last night. But the Adam Driver one from the previous week was the best one I've seen in a long damn time. Adam Driver is such a fucking talented kid. But I watched 2 episodes of Saturday Night Live this week.
Yeah, that Medieval Times skit.
Yeah, the Medieval Times one was awesome. Just a night at Medieval Times taking his job way too seriously. But that's what I've been getting into.
That king need to run.
Yep. He's going to die.
Well, guys, friendly reminder, we do stream this show live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on Geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page there, you can see a calendar of all of our upcoming live events. So please feel free to drop in on some of the other live podcasts that are on the network. Before we shut this thing down, do you guys have any final thoughts for us?
Do you have an unfriendly reminder?
Make sure you
Only
watch
on
my fucking
Tuesdays.
shows. How's that for an unfriendly reminder?
Okay, that makes sense.
Pretty unfriendly. The Fast Saga account is tweeting out to people. F9 is coming, people. There will
the
be more
trailer's out
Fast.
already.
There will be more Furious.
Evidently,
Oh,
I
so
guess
yeah.
John Cena is Vin Diesel's brother now, is what that people were saying. I
Something
haven't
like
watched
that.
it yet.
Yeah. Cena's
oh.
everywhere.
So I just got a text. Chris, tell your mom don't text me during the podcast. I'm too busy.
Back to the mom jokes.
Really, we can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry.
I called it out over there and I hit that home run.
Well, guys,
Oh, he's Babe Ruthing you? He's
Thank-
calling his shot?
thanks
Oh,
for
you
joining
don't-
us.
Oh, you don't know what a Babe Ruth is.
I don't know what else to say other than the fact that we'll be back next week with more of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, where Willie makes fun of people's mothers.
Apparently.
And I'll tell you what the Babe Ruth is.
And
No!
about what he wants to do
No!
with them.
No.
We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Edgelord out.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.